then, welcome to the World News at 6 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachuku. First of the highlights. Bus driver dead as 40-feet container fall on cars in Lagos. Troops neutralize 103 terrorists in northeast Nigeria. Police arraign 9 over attack on Articles convoy. Police parade suspected killers of Oyo hotelier. And on the Florentine, Taliban arrest women protesting against university ban. Details now. The World News at 6 begins with a 40-feet container falling on vehicles plying the Sele bus stop along the Oshodi-Akpakpa Expressway in Lagos State, killing many commuters. The AP News gathered that a driver of one of the popular yellow commercial buses was immediately confirmed dead, while the other 2 managed to escape. Meanwhile, the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, while confirming the incident today, said the accident happened at the main carriageway of PM gas station inward Sele bus stop. Speaking on this is Mimunat Cosmas Atom, a freight forwarder for Destiny Cargo. Let's take a listen.
We have the 20 feet, we have the 40 feet. The 20 feet is the small one, while the 40 feet is the longer one, and those are very tall. They have high limit height. So that you see 9 by 6 inches. Some you see very high. Another thing that some clients, what they declare on their bill of lading is different from the quantity in the container. For instance, now, like a bag of rice is 50 kg. And so people go out, you could make it 70 kg. That is more than the actual 50 kg that is approved. Hello?
I'm listening to you. Continue.
Yes. So that is more than the kg they have. So what a freight order will follow is information you have provided on the bill of lading. If they are telling me you have 40 pieces of that, I will follow your 40 pieces. I'll look for a truck that will accommodate 40 pieces, not knowing that all you have them at 50 or 60. Because I'm not the actual buyer of this shipment. So you, the actual buyer, knows what you have loaded in the truck. So that's why you are seeing all these unforeseen circumstances of accidents happening on the road. That's number one. Then number 2, in Lagos State specifically, there are some types of containers that are not allowed to climb the bridge. They will tell you, social tons do not climb the bridge, go beneath. But some drivers will not listen. They will go on the bridge, and they will know the weight of the carrier is more than. This will cause accident because the weight, by the time they climb the bridge, they'll be civil. They'll be civil left to right, and with that, they will fall on a car or a truck that is moving under.
Now, when these shipments, leave wherever it is that they're being carried from to whatever destination, are there no officials who are meant to look at the particulars, or like you said, the bill of lading, to ensure that this particular shipment is basically what is on that bill of lading?
Yeah, that is where the Ministry of Transport is supposed to come into play. Okay, the customer is passing. Before you get out, they'll check, okay, what you are carrying, is it equivalent to the size of the truck you are using? Nobody is checking that. Once you just leave the exit gate, you are free to go. Nobody stops them. Another thing, most of these containers, they're supposed to be latched. Latch means you belt it. But majority of the containers outside the road, they don't have belts. Some of them is even on the truck itself.
Okay, you mean those belts they put across the truck from the side up to hold it firm?
Load and go. That's what they do. There are even some trucks that are not even good. When I look at the front, some of them don't even have the front lights or all the necessary equipment a truck should have. Ministry of Transport are supposed to do this, but they're not performing that function because what hands are rubbing each other. This is my friend. Let him go. That's why we're having some instances. If you can remember in terms of Amber, he said trucks should not move until 12 midnight to 6 a.m. Did they follow these rules? No, they did not. Because by those time, people are not on the road. Human traffic is not on the road. Motorists are not on the road. so they can have free flow of movement wherever they are going to. Enough to avoid all the kind of accidents that keep occurring over time, but nobody is there to consider all these things. Hence, we're having recurrence, and we'll keep having recurrence if measures are not put to place.
Speaking further on the frequent cause of this preventable mayhem is Oluwale Badmus Francis, a freight forwarder for Gold Sail Logistics Limited, specialty on air cargo and sea cargo shipment. Let's take a listen to him.
400,000 kilograms, that's 400 tons. Then most issues that since the vessel used in comparing this load are outdated. They are all outdated. It is the work of Lagos State to put in roadworthiness to remove all these standard vehicles, truck out of our road, or they find another professional means of transporting containers. But the government are not doing anything because most of them are the owner of the road and the owner of the trailer itself. So no matter how you do it, now the road is being blocked from Delta down to my team. So if you are in a private vehicle now, there is no way for you getting up today unless you look for another alternative route. So this is what they are just the major problem of our closed and standstill traffic. What the government should have done is one, move out all these outdated truck out of the road, empower them, put them out, then look for new ones that are okay. Go for roadworthiness and approve them, but they give them approval because they are the owners of it. So that's just it. We don't blame the goods, the owner of the goods or the driver. The driver is just being paid for his own delivery, and the owner of the goods wants his goods delivered. No matter how long it is, please deliver my goods, charge me. That's just it. After you paying a lot of duty payments, paying VAT, and other things, you have to make your goods delivered. I think we are in the season already. That's what the problem is, but it's not the issue of this trailer for to sit today. As I heard from someone from South said, the downfall was coming through the one way on a high speed, and the long trailer lost control. That's just what happened. So the issue now is the downfall. Why is the downfall taking the wrong way on an express route? Because this is our never really change. You just have to remove all these people.
Meanwhile, troops of Operation Harinkai have eliminated 103 Boko Haram Islamic State of West Africa province in the past 3 weeks in the northeast. The Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Musa Damadami, stated this while reviewing the progress of military operations today in Abuja. He said the troops also apprehended 22 terrorists, including 4 commanders and 18 collaborators within the theater during the period. It disclosed that the troops rescued 30 abducted civilians, while 280 terrorists and their families, comprising 29 males, 73 females, and 148 children, surrendered to the military across 4 and the theater of operation. According to him, the land and air components of Operation Harinkai have continued to dominate the general area as operational activities were being conducted in villages, towns, and mountains. Cumulatively, within the weeks in focus, troops recovered 20 AK-47 rifles, 2 G3 rifles, 5 FN rifles, 2 QJC guns, 1 gun truck, 2,411 rounds of 7.62mm special, 143 belted rounds of 7.62mm NATO, 1 Beretta pistol, 26 AK-47 magazines, 4 bandoliers, 4 36 hand grenades, amongst others. Major Musa disclosed and quote, other items recovered are 33 motorcycles, 33 bicycles, medical supplies, 50 pieces of male and female fabric, bags of grain, jerry cans of groundnut oil, cartons of detergents, the sum of 291 and 60,000, including other sundry items. All recovered items, rescued civilians, and arrested terrorists have been handed over to the appropriate authority for further action, while the surrendered Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists and members of their families are being profiled for further action. In the meantime, the Borno State Commissioner of Police Abdul Umar says the state command has charged 9 suspects who attacked the convoy of the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar in the state. The CP, who disclosed this to correspondents today, said a total of 14 electoral violence offenders were arrested by the command. Of the 14 suspects, Umar said 12 are supporters of the All Progressives Congress, while the remaining 2 are for the People's Democratic Party. He said enough measures had been taken by the police to curtail thuggery in the state. He commended the state governor Babagana Umaru Zulum for giving expressed order that anybody caught disrupting campaigns, no matter how highly placed, should be taken to court. The CP also said that the command arrested 119 suspects that perpetrated various offences including rape and drug abuse. While in Imo State, the Commissioner of Police Mohammed Barude today disclosed that his command had dismissed 7 policemen for flagrant abuse of police standard practice. The CP, who spoke to journalists in his office in Uri, the state capital, on the readiness of the command to police the state ahead of the Christmas and New Year's season, said his command would not condone any act of insubordination from any of his men. Corroborating the CP's stance shortly after, the command spokesperson Michael Abatam in a statement said the affected officers had been arraigned in court and dismissed. The command spokesperson said that the CP had instructed heads of various units to ensure that their subordinates behave well. Meanwhile, the Oyo State Police Command today paraded suspected killers of the US-based Ogbomoso-born hotelier Benga Owolabi and a student of the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso, Rachel Okwadili. The suspects were paraded at the command headquarters in Ibadan. The AP News gathered that the victims were later killed by the abductors after the ransom was paid. Parading the suspects alongside others, the State Commissioner of Police Adipowale Williams said they were arrested based on credible information provided by one of their victims. In another development, the federal government today said the pledge by the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, to reopen all Nigerian borders if re-elected president would cause food crisis and worsen insecurity in the country. Atiku had, during his campaign in Katsina on Tuesday, promised to tackle the insecurity in the country and reopen all Nigerian borders if elected president in 2023. But the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, who spoke in Abuja on Thursday at the 15th edition of the PMB Administration Scorecard Series 2015 to 2023, said Atiku's pledge was a red flag to Nigerians who, in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's admonition, had been striving to produce what they eat and eat what they produce. He said, out of desperation, and quote, he, Atiku, is ready to worsen the security situation in Nigeria by throwing open all the border and allowing a massive inflow of small arms and light weapons into the country. Only an inordinately ambitious candidate will wish to return Nigeria to an era of massive importation of food to the detriment of local farmers and an era of unbridled inflow of weapons, end quote. The minister said, while Nigeria was the #1 export destination for rice in 2014, the country had now moved to number 79, according to Thai authorities. He said opening the borders indiscriminately would return Nigeria to the #1 importer of Thai rice in 2023. You are listening to the World News at 6 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. After the break, we'll bring you foreign stories. Welcome back. Now, the Taliban have arrested 5 women taking part in a protest in the Afghan capital, Kabul, against the ban on women attending universities. 3 journalists were also arrested. Protests are also understood to have taken place in the Takhan province. Guards stopped hundreds of women from entering universities on Wednesday, a day after the ban was announced. It is the latest policy restricting women's education since the Taliban returned to power last year. Girls have already been excluded from most secondary schools. The new ban was implemented with immediate effect by the Higher Education Minister on Tuesday, with public and private universities ordered to bar women from attending. The Education Ministry said its scholars had evacuated the university curriculum and environment, and attendance for girls would be suspended until a suitable environment was provided. Footage shared via social media today show about 24 Afghan women dressed in hijabs marching through the streets of Kabul, raising banners and shouting slogans. And to wrap up the world news at 6, let's take a look once again at the headlines. You heard that a bus driver is dead as 40-feet container falls on cars in Lagos State. Troops neutralize 103 terrorists in northeast Nigeria. Police arraign 9 over attack on Atiku's convoy. Police parade suspected killers of Oyo hotelier. And on the foreign scene, you also heard that Taliban arrest women protesting against university ban. And that is a wrap on the World News at 6 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachuku. To follow us on our social media platforms at VOP 903 FM. Also, subscribe on the website at www.voiceofthepeople.ng. Good evening.